pour a little out for the end of the season. And by pouring some out, I mean into my wine glass. Not waste. Cold open conversation is Pep Guardiola has been outed by the media that he is stepping away at the end of the season with Enzo Maresca plan to take over. What started as this before the FA Cup?
I think it's sad for you that tomorrow's your last visit to Wembley in charge of Manchester City.
No way. No way. I have one more year contract. Okay.
To this after the match against Bournemouth.
Listen, with the club always I talk, but not now, so 3-4 seasons ago when it was 1 year left or we didn't extend on that, because the first you have to understand, you should talk with my chairman first, right? And after that, when I talk with my chairman, so we decide to have 1 more year, we talk everything and we'll decide.
Quite the pivot. Enzo to City has been a conversation since Maresca and Chelsea's conscious uncoupling. The alleged final straw was Maresca informing Chelsea that Manchester City officials have reached out to him about his interest in the club and that he planned on hearing what City wanted to say. You could say he's only had eyes for City. He's worked for both Pep and Pellegrini. Pep at Man City, Pellegrini with West Ham. But while he was at Man City, he ran their PL2 side, found success with them. There are lots of links to him and his many conversations with Pep. One could say the inverted fullback is it was born from a conversation that he had with Maresca. And Maresca was also in the locker room during halftime before the 3-2 match game against Aston Villa. You can say he's around there. He very similar to, what Lenders is doing with City this season. Maresca might have had a tell, and obviously a greater one if he's running a PL2 side as well. Maresca's tactics are similar to Pep, where he wants players to excel in small spaces, overload spaces by having an extra player available, and loves an inverted fullback. It is believed that Maresca could be called difficult if he's not catered to, will talk to the front office crazy. He's not loyal because when he was at Leicester City, they took a chance with him. All Chelsea had to do was look back at him and he came running for him. On the pitch, on the sidelines, Mans has no sauce. He's just always wearing club branded gear, whatever he's given, he's putting it on. But outside of football, when he's out and about, I've seen him doing his little fashion killer thing. He's done some collaborations with some really nice companies. Seems to be the strong silent type where Pep in his actions and his words, it gets those two around him to match that intensity. Maresca's cool persona, it could leave people with a uneasy feeling because you don't know where you stand with him. He has not been announced, so we have time to talk about Pep and his career. I want to focus on the prospect of Maresca at City. Would you like the appointment? Is there something about him that impresses you or disappoints you? Let's talk about it. How are we feeling about Maresca? Sharpie? Oh, Tarek, let's go.
So originally I'm not a fan, right? If you just ask me my first thought, where did my brain go immediately?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan. Ever since he's been linked with the club, I've not been a fan. And I think that's just because I'm so used to Pep Guardiola, right? Anybody that's not a big name feels like a big departure, feels like a big step down. You wonder, can somebody that's, and again, he's managed a big club. He managed Chelsea, won the Club World Cup. So it's not like he's a nobody per se. But he's just not on the Pep Guardiola level. And that's the level that I'm used to shopping at. And so, it's a little difficult for me to kind of adjust. But I will say, 2 days later, I'm starting to come around, because at the end of the day, whoever is our manager, I'm going to support, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to come around to it. knowing that he's had a role in the club before. He was, there with Pep, all the things that you tell yourself to make you feel better about it. That's really where I'm at. I'm trying to buy in, trying to be like, okay, it's going to be fine. But if you want my honest opinion, I'm like, not a big fan.
Sorry, 1 second, Sharpie. I hear you, Tarek. The problem with having Pep, as you said it, there's like a tier, a level of expectation of what type of manager you would have. There really aren't many like that. We're actually seeing a coaching revolution kind of going right now. A whole new set of people being out here. Like who I feel like there
I
might
agree
be.
with that.
Yeah.
Because again, the people that, there's, as much as I, think that Man City's the end all be all, it's the greatest thing on planet Earth as far as football clubs. That doesn't mean that everybody else feels that way, right? So Luis Enrique is not running up out of PSG to be like, oh, bring me to the City. If he was, I'd say that's who I want, because he can sit at that table or in that at that level. But that's not the reality. And so, yeah, there's not going to be a ton of those managers out there, but I've become accustomed to having someone at that level. And so you just think that you're entitled. I don't say entitled because that sounds negative, but you feel like you should always have that.
Yeah.
We're Man City. We should always, well, yeah, but we're going to have some ups and downs. We just had a very sustained up because of him and what he was able to bring to the club, and just how everything worked together, that synergy between him, Cheeky, and everybody else in the backroom staff. So it's going to be a transition for us. It's going to be a change, and now we got to see what we do.
So jumping from Pellegrini to Pep, Sharpie, that is quite significant for anywhere. And we talked about the lack of keeping that momentum when it comes to, I guess, the experience or success from a manager in the current football field. We have Maresca. He has had some success. People could easily be like, yeah, it's Club World Cup though. So yeah, I'm very interested in you because you always have your very specific opinion, and I'm not a fan of them, so I just assume that maybe you are. So yeah, how are you feeling about Maresca?
Couple thoughts. So being a part of the trouble season as the assistant coach is huge to me. Like, you were there for every single fight across all fronts. All with us on first team is winning. You were there, like, the players on the pitch that are still there with us, right? Rodri, Holland, Ruben, Foden, right? You know the spine of our team. They know you. I think that familiarity is very helpful. You know how City runs, how, from Caldoun all the way down, how that goes. Now, Hugo Vienna is not cheeky, but clearly there have been talks between you and Hugo at this point, right? I don't think these journalists are just putting out lies. So there's clearly familiarity and comfort there. Think about Chelsea this season. Once he left, they fell off a cliff. I believe when he left, they were in the Champions League, like, comfortably. They were comfortably top 5. And now they're, 10th? And yes, there've been some injuries, but like, the quality of play got less. And he left Chelsea because he wasn't being supported the way he should. And he knew that, right? He advocated for more. He said right when Colwell got hurt, I need a center back. He understood, like, yo, we keep signing all these young players. I don't want them. Blue Code messed that up. He said, I got to go. I'm good. Now, I don't know if he automatically knew Pep was going to leave when he did it, but I respect the man. It's like, you know what? I'm done here. Let me move on for something else. Or I can just wait around and just say, I'll chill till next year. And the last one I make is this is very similar to college football when Nick Saban left Alabama. You can't replace Nick Saban. It's impossible. He is the GOAT. Cut is the GOAT. But you can get a coach who has had success, knows how to coach, knows how to manage in this case, and you're still going to be competitive, right? And so that was Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. I think Maresca can keep us competitive. And honestly, I don't expect him to do what Slott did. I guess I'm having low expectations because I don't want to overhype myself. But as of now, like what I want most importantly is to keep the Champions League streak alive. Like we can't fall off a cliff like United did when Ferguson left, right? Like where it was just like, yo, what is this? What is going on? I just want to be top 4. And if we're competing for titles, beautiful. But I think he can keep us at top 4. And I think closer to the season, and we'll see how transfers goes, injuries from the World Cup. I have a better opinion about what I think this season can look like. But do I think he can keep us at top 4 and compete in Champions League? Yes, because our team is stacked.
So I want to know if this changes your opinion, because you kind of mentioned this. The rumor is that he's known, he was reached out to back in like November, December, before he left Chelsea. And so having that communication in your back pocket, you can go to Chelsea and be a little bit stronger in your opinion. And if they don't give it to you, deuces, I'm out, because there's a very strong chance I'm going to end up at City. Does that change how you feel about it? Because knowing that he's willing to potentially throw away Chelsea for a chance at City, throw away
he threw away Leicester City for Chelsea.
Yeah, but that was after this. That was after the season, I'm pretty sure.
It was like a month before the Leicesters were like promoted to the Premier League. They put Leicester in a pretty bad position.
I don't know the timeline. I don't know the timeline, but I guess my point is, if he's willing to use your club as a stepping stone, I'm not saying that that's what he did, but it could be perceived that way. Does that change how you feel about him? And will he do that to us?
No, doesn't change how I feel at all, because every level he's gone up, right? Leicester City to Chelsea, we all think is a jumping club. We know it's
I almost said, even though we may not feel like there is another level above us, but if Real Madrid or Barcelona come calling, whatever, right? I don't know. I'm just throwing somebody out there.
Yeah, those are literally the only other clubs that you can jump, quote unquote, up to, or even like laterally on our level, right? Like you are one of the big 6 in the world, I would say. And we're one of those people. Everybody knows it. Big 7 if you want to do it accurately. But yeah, like I like it. Like he knew what he wanted. And if I had a chance to leave the chaos that Blue Coat existed with at Chelsea, to say I know what City does. I was there 3 years ago. Like I understand how this runs, and I get to manage this club. Yeah, I'm out, Chelsea. Y'all ain't even doing what I want anyway. Like, and it's too much stress. It's too many young kids. It's an unserious situation where I'm going to the most serious situation in the country. I respect that. Like, I like it.
Okay. Charlie said the expectation is just hold on to a Champions League spot and have the chance to win titles. That is the expectation with Maresca. Do you agree, Tarek? Like, let's say this: out of 5 years, how many would you, if Maresca stays for 5 seasons, like everything goes?
Well, let's do 3, because I think his contract.
I think it's a 3-year deal.
It's reported to be a 3-year
it's contract. 3, but it really is. It's 2.
It's sure, 2. But let's just say 3, because that's what the number is. So if out of 3 years, I want him to win at least 1.
Yeah, he needs at least 1. He does need.
I don't think it'll be next year, but I think it can happen though, for sure.
Yeah, I want him to win it. So I want him to. So this is my thing. I want to win trophies every year, right? Yeah. It doesn't always have to be the PL, but we should be competing for every trophy into those, making deep runs in every competition. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, well, we should just throw away the League Cup or and again, I called it I don't care about Cup. I get it, but we don't get to throw away trophies. Especially him. He don't get to throw away trophies. You got to come out here and win these bad boys.
Maresca needs to make sure City win everything.
So we need to be going deep in all these competitions. We're not going to win every trophy. That's just not, typical. That's not likely. That's not realistic. But we need to be competing for all of them. And I want at least 1 every year. And give me a PL. Give me a PL in that 3-year time frame.
That's fair.
Yeah, we raced, think about it this season, and we'll talk about it more, right? We made it to the 37th week in contention. There's only 1 more week left. Sadly, we fizzled out, but faltered at the end. But if you say I'm going to compete all season and it's not like the start of May and we have no chance, that's a competitive season for me. And because what Slott did in his first year is not common. It's very hard to win a title in your first year.
Yeah.
That is the exception to the rule.
It's even
Pep
more
didn't do it,
crazy
right?
to blow it up and throw it all away.
That too. But I would say with Maresca, if he comes into a team that I think has, I would say anywhere from 15 to 18 spots really set for next season, and we know the talent we have, he should definitely be able to say, hey, top four is a given, semifinals in the League Cup and FA Cup, and we are pushing for Champions League this year because we've gone 2 years without being serious, for real. So, yeah, I think he can do that. I think he knows the PL. Like, it's like getting a Prem-proven player. We're getting a Prem-proven manager. He got Chelsea back to the Champions League after they missed it, and had them there this year until he set them out.
Respect. Went a little long, but it's good we had this conversation now, and we don't have to talk about Maresca again until all of that stuff's official. Appreciate it. Hey, welcome to season 5, episode 183 of Shades of Blue.
This is culturally inappropriate.
We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game. Spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We making art over here, capitalize the A. I am Crunk Chocolate. I'm here with the show, bro, Sharpie, Charlie, Tarek. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
Well, I am on the way out of the funk that I was in when I heard that Pep Guardiola was potentially leaving. The first thing that came to my head was, and I almost played it on my stream the other night, was, and got my whole channel taken down, but Boys to Men, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. Because, it's like, man, we've been together for 10 years. Now when you walking out the door, what's going on? Man, that's not even allowed to happen. But, like I said, a couple of days have passed. You kind of wrap your head around it. We knew it was going to happen eventually. So I'm doing a little bit better.
I'm at peace, man. I'm good. Like, I'm grateful for the memories. I will enjoy reflecting and talking about things and looking at all the highlights. And when the documentary drops, I'll watch it. But I'm not sad because, again, we knew this was coming. And this is what I'll say. Credit to Sam Lee. He has been on this from the beginning. I do not think Pep is staying. And so every week I listen to Let Me Talk. I'm kind of just yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I get it. I want him to, but all the signs. And then the last straw for me was when his guy, the fitness coach, left. When that broke, I was like, yeah, he's out. Because that's your man's. He was the
they've
last
been with
one
you
who
the
came
whole time
15 years.
since Barcelona. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was that one for me gave me the ability to kind of start the grieving process. That's just how I read all those reports. And so now it's hey, I hope he gets the send-off that he deserves. I'm sure City's going to do everything. Name the North Stand after him, the Pep Stand. He deserves everything and more. Get the statue ready.
You make it the Guardiola Field at Etihad Stadium. Put a statue, the stand, name it all after him.
Wouldn't have a CL without him.
So
you okay?
Jack,
It's like you crying over there.
Jack Gahn is doing a 5-part, write up about Pep, and it's been really fun reading about it. And there are definitely moments where I'm like, I forgot about that. So it's been really nice. Shout out to Jack. We'll be having him on next week to do end of the season review, kind of get caught up on things. So if there's anything, obviously show bros, you want me to ask them, put that in the Slack chat. But listeners, viewers, if there is anything that you want me to ask Jack Gahn, please let me know in the comments on YouTube. Put in the review. You can DM us. You can add us on all the social medias. We are there at Shades of Blue and W. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm gonna ask him. But like, shoot me a question. Maybe it's a good one. Maybe it's a terrible one. I won't tell you. I'll just say thank you. All right, let's get into it. Time to talk FA Cup, Chelsea, a little bit of happiness before we get to frustration. Pep, he wouldn't let the 3 days of rest be an excuse, stating that he would love to have a week off like Chelsea. But that is what happens when you play these extra competitions. They didn't have a chance to practice because the FA final was 2 days previous. But 24 trips to Wembley for Pep Guardiola. 24. He has an idea of what they can do with the stadium.
I'm so disappointed English football don't make a stand to Pep. You know that? So many times I've been there, at least a lounge or a box or something like that. So maybe I'll go 24 more times.
Dennis says, Pep. He's hilarious. I enjoy that, man. I'm gonna miss him. Because Enzo Maresca is not personable like this. I spent like 2 hours or so just watching Enzo tactic videos, Enzo interviews, stuff he did back when he was at like Leicester City, to obviously up to before he left Chelsea. Like he's very like straightforward. People will like make a joke for him, and he like corrects them. It's like, oh my god. Well, maybe there's something behind the scenes. Maybe he's a delightful human being. I don't know. It's just so used to like joy. And obviously this is not the Pep we got when he first got here. But that Pep was also cursing motherfuckers out. So that, either way, it was entertaining.
Don't let comparison be the thief of joy, Crumb. You can't compare anybody to Pep. It's a fool's errand to do it. Like, you got to separate these things. It's a whole different strategy.
I see you. I'm trying. It's early. I'm trying. But Pep, who usually keeps things family appropriate, got caught up in the moment and gave us a PG-13 moment.
I've been fun. Huh? I've been fucking fun.
I like how and I say PG-13 because he was like, will be fucking fun. He whispered it. He took the pause. Like, this is what human being.
I'm about to be out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Find me.
Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it?
His whole demeanor this season makes so much sense.
I know.
Because I don't believe this was a last-minute decision. I don't think it was like spur of the moment.
No.
I think it was made months ago around the time the links from Maresca came out. And so from him being able to talk about world issues with all the clarity and candor, to him, talking about nostalgia, to jokes, like it just everything about his interviews and media sessions this year is like, yeah, this is a man who's finishing up a decade of work. And when you just finish it off with that, it's perfect.
I think back to December when I had Jack on. And I remember asking about the whole rumors about Pep leaving. And I was like, because there's no way you can talk about it without everybody knowing. Like, whoever knows, someone's going to tell somebody who's probably going to tell somebody. Like, that's just how it goes. And he was like, yeah, if Pep has made this decision, everybody will already know who needs to know. And he said that to me, and I was like, that motherfucker. He knew, because he's this whole 5-part write-up that he's doing about Pep. He's been working on it for months. And I don't know if you guys remember in the chat, or maybe I just said it to you, Sharpie, where I was talking about how I was going to have Jack on, but he's working on something, so he'll be busy.
Yeah, he said he had to wait, had to delay.
Yeah, so I had to wait. And so that's what it is. That's what he's been working on. Though he has known, I had him on in January. Though he has known at least since January. But I would assume he's known sooner than that, and that's why he said that. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
But isn't it so brilliant that, like, the official word doesn't come out because the reporters respect City so much, they're not even going to do it early to be disproven that soon, right?
Mhm.
Even though they hear the rumblings. City's like, hey, we're gonna start getting our feelers out because we have to keep this show on the road. Like, we're not just gonna be like caught off guard when Pep says he's not coming back and have nobody lined up. Like, you have to be ready to keep going. That's what greatness is. So it's just like, again, it's not fun that Pep is leaving at all. And I'm happy that I'm at a club that is not reactive. It's a very proactive situation.
Hell yeah. It's wild and sad. Starting 11 for the FA Cup. Trafford, Nunes, Kuzanov, Gahey, O'Reilly, Silva, Rodri, Doku, Semenyo, Marmoush, and Haaland. We got the one goal, the flick on from the assist from Haaland, the flick on from Semenyo. That was the genius that we had. It's disappointing that that's an FA Cup final, but we experienced it last year with Crystal Palace. Chelsea played in a back three, that was a back five. The rumor was, obviously, it was announced to Xabi Alonso, but there were people I was talking to who are Chelsea supporters, and before the match, they were like, hey, this lineup is apparently like winking at Xabi, because this is similar to what he would be playing when he comes to Chelsea. Obviously, it worked. He signed a deal. What were your thoughts of this match?
Wait, who signed the deal?
Did he not? Did Alonso not
Xabi
sign?
Alonso.
Yeah.
You said Xabi. My mind went to the Spaniard, like midfielder Barcelona Xabi, not Xabi Alonso. Sorry, that's why I was like, wait, what? Okay, I forgot that happened. That did happen. But I'm sorry. Ask your question. I'm sorry.
It's just what from this match should we talk about? Like, obviously it's great that City won. I have a clip about Pep obviously talking about Bernardo and Stones, and Pep talking about his trips to Wembley. That's basically all I got. But the match was what it was. There are all these things. Was it City being swept up in the moment with all these new young people? Was Chelsea with their defensive setup doing quite well? How we feel about this? Were you bored? Did you take a good nap? Like, how were you feeling about this?
For me, when you look at the lineup, you see Rodri is back.
Yes.
First match, no substitute appearances to get him back into shape. Nothing, just he's back. And then you see Marmoush starting as a second striker or whatever we're calling that, instead of Turkey. And I'm just, I don't know about this. Now, again, Marmoush had just come off the back of scoring, I think maybe in two games or something like that. So, Pep does tend to ride a hot hand, and maybe that's what he was thinking. But I'm always a little iffy with Marmoush, to be honest with you. So I was concerned, and then the first half happened, and I felt like my concerns were justified. But I think, Pep is not one to make substitutions early.
Yeah.
The fact that he made a halftime substitution says he knew he got it wrong.
Thank goodness.
That feels like a big, kind of admitting by him to admit that admission of guilt. Yep, I screwed up. Let me fix this. But yeah, not a great game, but I think Chelsea's game plan was to come in and keep the game close, and maybe even play to get it into extra time or even penalties or whatever. Right? It's a final. You don't have to win it all in the first 90 minutes. You can just try to wear us down and catch us on the break. You're going to get plenty of opportunities. Catch us on the break and do that. The thing, this is what frustrated me the most. Every time you breathed on a Chelsea player, they went down if they were standing in the box. They were playing to try to draw penalties, and I'm like, what are we doing? You couldn't even get close. And, y'all know I had much love for Cole Palmer when he was with us. Didn't want him to leave. I was asking y'all, who is this Daku cat who that's coming in? Why we got to get rid of Cole Palmer? I am starting to strongly dislike dude. I am, and I feel bad because it's like I used to rock with him, but the more and more I see him, man, it's like every time he wants to just get close to him, oh, he's going down. I'm like, bruh, stop trying to cheat, man. You're too good to be trying to cheat.
Not to derail everything, but you've had to have seen that interview about him talking about movie theaters.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. So he is doing some interview and do they ask him specifically about movie theaters if he likes them or not, or is it something that he doesn't like? But anyway,
It's just something he doesn't like in general. He's like going to the theater.
Going to the theater. And he was like, the TV is too big. So he's calling it a TV first off. He goes, the TV's too big. The TV's too loud. And there are like too many people there. And then when he's
this joker's sitting in the front row and he's trying to look up at the screen because it's sitting right there. Dude, sit back in the back or halfway back. You won't be that bad. What are we doing? Man.
And when he was talking about the people, he was like, you'll go there and there are like 8 people there. And it's like, Cole, like 8 people's too many for you? Like, bro, what is we know he's an interesting human being.
Interesting is a
but
nice
he
way
is
to put it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so to get off Cole Palmer,
thank you.
Forget him. I think my opinion of the match overall was this. How I felt watching the match and how most of us felt watching the match is not really what happened. Because if you look at the stats, we were actually more dominant in the first half. We scored the goal in the second half, but we had less completed passes. Sure. They were definitely way more aggressive in the second half because they finally had to go for it, right? So they started pushing more. XG was slightly higher, 0.5 to 0.48. But it wasn't like Shirky came on and set the world on fire. Now, is this different if he lays off that pass to Erling Haaland and Haaland scores a second goal, we go up 2-0? I think the whole vibe feels different. But I'm happy we won. Like, I'm not upset. I don't need style points in the final. I just want to win. We won the Champions League 1-0. Was that the most memorable football match ever? No. But it was memorable for me because we won it. It would have sucked to be Inter and we lose, right? Like, that would have been terrible. So I'm happy we won. I'm happy we got the clean sheet. Kuznov, probably my man in the match, him and Gahey. I know Gahey got it, but like him and Gahey were just ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're so good together. And it's like we're set up to have them as one pair. I'm not going to say starting or whatever. One pair of center backs, Gahey and Kuznov. One pair of center backs, Guardiola and Ruben. And I'm great with those 4. And maybe you bring Victor Hayes back as the 5th, young guy that's just there. But like, I love what our defense looks like. Nunes looked great. O'Reilly played well. And then Haaland being pissed at the end was probably my favorite moment because it's like, I want my goal. He knows he hasn't scored in the final. He's never scored at Wembley.
Dude was
he wanted that goal. And he should have been because Shirky wouldn't play it. And I'm like, you're on the pitch to do that. Play the damn ball. Like, and it's not that complicated. So that fire, and it kind of came out as we'll talk about, what happened with the last match of the season. But yeah, I was happy with the win, and to have that moment for Bernardo and Stones and Pep, it was beautiful.
And this is Pep talking about, he was asked what this winning the FA Cup, Stones and Bernardo going out with success, with lifting some trophies, that's be good for them, right?
Absolutely. But nothing, of course, is nicer. But if you have to judge his service, his tenure, his 10 years here, today win or not win the trophy, or Carabao win the trophy, it's not about that. Whatever will happen today or the last game, the final against Arsenal, they have been really no words, I said many times, to express the incredible gratitude for on and off the pitch, how they behave, represent this club in the best way as possible. So Bernardo's a machine, never injured, play in all the roles and always being incredibly competitive. Today, show it again.
And when talking about how he was feeling about Bournemouth, he said, quote, the fatigue would be the same, but the energy would be different if City lost to Chelsea in that game. And he holds the FA Cup in high regard. which is why England has embraced Pep Guardiola, the way this country has, respecting the football culture. I'm hearing so many people talking about whether he should become the England national team manager, and it's statements like the one I'm about to play. It's why the English love them some Pep.
I think the biggest title is come here 24 times. That is the biggest title. Can win Premier Leagues? Yeah. Champions League? Yeah. But do you play 24 times here? When the first season when I arrived, I didn't come because we didn't win nothing in the previous season, Manuel. And after that, in 9 years, come 24 times, it's because we were stubborn, you know, and so many times. FA Cups or Carabao Cups, you go League One, League Two, you can slippery, you can make a bad afternoon, a bad night. Never had. Never. Not even one day. Behave. And that is the biggest, I think, compliment that we can get as a club, because for the future, said, we have done it, so we have to continue to do it, or at least to try it.
It's been done. Can't say you can't do it. It's been done before. And that is the lasting legacy that Pep will leave us, is knowing that City have won everything that they could under him, should be able to continue that. And that means a lot, actually, because there are so many clubs where winning the league is not a conversation. It's just Champions League, that being something that you can hope for, is that your team is good enough to win the Champions League. That's insane. It really is. It really is going to be a moment of humility, of realizing who we are and where we are as a club.
I think these last 2 seasons, now that we're on the, final match for the men coming up, has made me realize, I always say we're spoiled, but it was just so rare. You literally cannot do that. Even United never won 6 out of 7 under Ferguson. That's a really stupid run of winning 4 in a row. What? That's something you do at Bayern Munich or something you do at PSG. That's not a PL situation. And that's why, when they say the big 4 or the big 6, these things matter, because usually it's one of the 6 who has a chance. We took away the chances of United, Spurs, and Chelsea damn near every year under Pep. And it was really just us, Liverpool, and now Arsenal. So it's just I'm grateful that I'm rooting for clearly one of the best club in the country. And does that mean we're going to win every year? No. But I know we're going to be there every single year. We're not having to fall off like Chelsea did, or Liverpool, or United. We're never going to drop the 8th. They won't let it happen. We won't have to go through that, or Arsenal did, everybody else did but us. So even Klopp played in Europa League. I never want to do that. I told you I don't like Thursday nights. That's meant for football. Football. I don't want to watch soccer.
You know what's crazy?
So yeah,
that people be running up these trophy counts in these other competitions, and it's oh, we got 15, 13, whatever European trophies. Dude, they're in the Conference League, in the whatever. They don't even count. What are we talking about? Again, I shouldn't say they don't count. All trophies count. But you can't sit up there and pretend like they're on the same level as a Champions League. Oh, you only got this many. Dude, if we played in those competitions, we run them every year. Well, we don't want to be there.
the goal is not to be there. I would take a quarterfinal Champions League loss every year.
It's so crazy because at least before with the Europa League, the Champions League people used to come down. So it was still a tough competition to win. Now it's completely different people, different teams. So you go win the Conference League, Crystal Palace potentially. Bruh, y'all not even in the conversation for Champions League. What are we doing?
Shouts to Mr. Europa though. Real quick, shouts to Mr. Europa.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect, because he always wins that mug. He might not win nothing else, but that mug is going to win that Europa League.
Kobe, give him 5.
Yeah, that is his trophy.
Wow, my elitist show bros here.
Yeah, we root for Man City. What the fuck? Like,
you can don't
like
you have to put that
losers.
on Charlie. I
No, I
was
am
the one
elitist.
saying
I'm
it.
very elitist. No, I don't root for bums. I don't like underdogs. No, none of that. Like, y'all know me. I'm a Lakers fan, UNC basketball fan, a Man City fan, and a Broncos fan. I don't even know what underdogs
didn't
feel
you root
like,
for
bro.
the Alabama?
Yeah, like, and that was through like, familiar relations, but
man,
like
I hate them
Virginia
dudes.
Tech might be the like most underdog team I root for. Like, that's it. But everybody else, winners.
I love it. I'm not gonna lie. Werder Bremen, they are down bad as a club. Like, a chunk of their players are loanies. They're about to get rid of one of their better players, and it's for 15 million pounds, 15 million euros, and that's good. I get exhausted getting caught up on Werder Bremen stuff because it's such a contrast in expectations and lifestyle.
It's like you started a real life version of like what is it, like My Career or whatever, on like the football games people talk about, Football Manager. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna be a fan of this random club in Germany just to get the vibes, like just for the feels. I just need to know what it's like to be in a relegation fight because I'll never know the city. So let's figure out what it's like here.
It's Spain.
And I'm happy for you.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's
but you made it out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I picked up Werder Bremen around so I basically picked a club in each like league that I liked. So it was Valencia, it was Bremen, and it was City, and they were all like plucky upstarts. They had cool players on their squad and could give anybody a fight, but no one was really expecting greatness from them, and it was nice. They all had their runs. City, I obviously had the best run of them all. No, obviously once David Silva got to City, that was a really cool moment too. All right, let's talk about this Bournemouth. Talking about everything but this fucking loss and what it means. Bournemouth are on an 18-match unbeaten streak facing City, who played in the FA Cup 3 days previous in a match. This against Bournemouth is something that they needed to win in order to push the title race to the final match of the season. Pep described playing Bournemouth was like going to the dentist. What did he mean by that?
They don't let you breathe, and maybe always when that teams, I think when they are so intense, always the fatigue, the amount of games, they can reduce a little bit this tempo. But with 10 days to prepare that game, I expect a more intense, aggressive, and demanding team, and then you have to be smart to read what they have to do.
And that is it. That was the match. It was a very difficult, frustrating match. Starting 11 was Donnarumma, Nunes, Huzanov, Gahey, O'Reilly, Rodri, Kovacic, Silva, Semenyo, Doku, and Haaland. Kovacic, Kovacic was playing well in those sub spells that he was making. Very similar to Marmoush getting the start after coming in and doing well as a sub. Sharpie, how did you feel when you saw the starting
11? I figured because we know how much Bournemouth likes to play on the front foot and in transition, Pep wanted someone to run and to be, kind of that engine. And we know Shirky's not going to do that. So as much as like for creativity, I always want to see Shirky. I understood why he picked Kova. Was I surprised? Yes. But once I like had an hour to like kind of process it, I was like, I get it. And of course, it means that you have him and Foden ready to come off the bench. It's a 90-minute game to get 5 subs for a reason. So it's not the worst thing in the world that Shirky doesn't start because we've seen him start and be ineffective and just take up space. So I was okay with it. Tarek, how'd you feel?
Again, disappointed because this is the second game in a row that he hasn't played Cherky from the start. And I don't know what that's about, right? I don't know what's going on in the locker room. I don't know what Pep is trying to get or what he's hoping to get out of it. So I can't say it's right, wrong, or indifferent. But I know that Shirky gives us some creativity. He's not perfect. He's got issues. He's got things he's got to keep working on. But he gives us the ability to make something out of nothing that nobody else on our team gives us. And so when you don't play him and then you don't score, it's like should have had him in. I hear Charlie say he knew what he was trying to do. I don't, but that doesn't mean I'm a little slow at times, so it's cool. But it was just disappointing. And then if you're gonna get that through ball from Kova that springs Holland free, great. But I don't know that we saw that. So it was just disappointing all around. But again, you also know that it's coming on the back of a short, it was already a short game or a window before our last game. And this is even shorter. So we knew it was going to be compact. It was going to be a lot of games in a short amount of time. It was going to test the players physically, mentally, all of that stuff. And, unfortunately, we just weren't up to the challenge.
Yeah. I understood the Kovacic, and that was what I saw. I was like, yeah, what he does is he dribbles. City had too many of those players last season, so that's why he really didn't fit in. And this was a situation we saw the press. To beat a press, either you have to pass around it or you have to beat the man coming into you. Kovacic should be good at that. He had shown very good signs in his last two substitutions. I was worried, can he do that for 90 minutes? Could he be effective enough to get City in the circumstances? He tried to make a couple of those passes to Holland or those through passes. They were every single time he just launched them though. It was almost like he was too gassed. He was too excited for the match. I remember multiple passes. He just like they either went out of bounds or it went to the other team because it was super powered. And he really wasn't taking people on. He wasn't breaking lines with his dribbling. And then he ended up just kind of taking up space, which is why he was the quick sub. It was a sad way to end the season. Like obviously, players are tired. This is like do or die. You would hope to want to see more from them in the first half.
Can I ask this question though, Terry?
Please.
If you get the player we want, like we all want to see Shirky, right? But the first halves go exactly the same in these two matches. Are you disappointed or more understanding?
If we play Shirky and we still get the exact same result, is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, like 0-0 first, like no score either first half. Like, are you happier because you saw it and the proof of concept was like, hey, this didn't work. Now we switch it, or is it more frustrating that again, like I'm saying, like it didn't happen at the beginning, so you're left with the what if.
I'm not sure that I'm getting the question exactly right, but what I'll tell you is, for me, I don't like necessarily the idea of bringing on a player at the end of a game to try to save it, right? I think you bring your starters out from the beginning, put a whooping on their head, get up 3-0, and then you can take everybody off. If you wait until it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes left, and then try to bring people on and say, oh, go rescue us, I feel like that's in my opinion, is a little backwards and it's running a risk. So I would always like to see them from the beginning, just as a rule in general, because they have more time to work their magic. Now, maybe you say if you bring them on later, they're coming on against tired legs, whatever. So maybe they can, I don't know. But for me, I'm always going to go from the beginning because I want to make sure I give myself every opportunity to make those plays. But to your point, there's no guarantee. Even with Shirky, there's no guarantee that happens. So,
yeah, Kovacic, I think the reason why he's found success is because he's been brought on with those tired legs. Those tired legs elevate players. So like that's why when Savio comes on as a sub, he looks fantastic because they're tired legs on top of his speed and everything. They're a little bit slower. His decisions don't have to be as quick and precise. Same thing with Kovacic. I was talking about how much is like zip and energy Kovacic looked like in his substitution appearances the last couple of matches. Maybe that was because you're comparing a man who has full of energy and he's giving his all because he knows all I have to do is go all out for 30 minutes. I remember doing the watch along and it was about 31 minutes in and I just go, oh, Kovacic is cooked already. Like it's done for Kovacic. Like, you just were not seeing the energy at the bit from that he had from the beginning of the match that he had in the substitutions.
Did it feel like Rodri was like blowing?
Not great?
Yeah, he was like tired from. And again, he's just coming back from an injury, and you're like, you played him last game, you're playing him again this one. I understand it's Rodri, I get it, but
no Nico G even on the bench.
Yeah, no,
like I mean, it was wild.
Is Nico G hurt? Did I miss something?
Somebody said he was, but then I've heard he isn't. I heard he's not
thinking
training.
the same thing with like Nori too. Like,
I've heard he's not training
either.
He didn't say anything about him, Pep, and he didn't say anything about Nori either. But also, technically, no one asked. They asked about injuries, and he said nobody is injured. So yeah,
but it's like now that people are healthy, you have to leave players out. So he's making calls.
Exactly.
Guardiola is going to be on the bench if he's fit, and he's on the bench in place of Nori, right? Like, but for me, when you bring up the Rodri question and his fitness and the reliance on Rodri, I don't know if any other manager would be different in this situation, but I also know that we know Pep is going to go down with his guys. And in the end of the day, like we saw last season, he's going to choose experience over youth. Like we were craving for explosion last year. And he was like, nah, you're going to take these unks and this 1-0 win and like it. And that's what he did. And it worked in the cup final. And honestly, we probably could have beat Bournemouth, right? Like it could have been a win. It wasn't, but I don't know, man. This season has been so weird and successful, right? You have 2 out of the 3 trophies in the country. You beat Arsenal 2 out of 3 times. And so really, no, we drew and then won twice, right? So like we took 7 points off Arsenal, including a cup final. We finished second, we pushed them to week 37, and we're all just like, but we had the most drop points in the league. We could have won the league. We gave it away in a way. It's weird to like live in that world where you know that you had the ability to win it, but you theoretically weren't ready. And even now, y'all, we haven't lost a match in England in 4 months. That's crazy. That's a 4-month unbeaten run in the country. And it doesn't feel like it's that great because the draws happen at the worst times.
So it's such a weird place. I think almost all of our losses happened in that first half of the season, except for maybe one. But then we got a ton of draws and drop points in the second half of the season after January. So yeah, it is disappointing. You go into that game thinking at minimum we're going to take it to the final day. So when that doesn't happen, you're just disappointed.
Disappointed we are, and Arsenal are officially the champions. Like, it is what it is. Here is Holland after the match against Bournemouth.
In the end, every game in Premier League is difficult, and we tried. It wasn't enough, and I think the whole club should use this as motivation now. We should be angry. We should feel a fire inside our belly because it's not good enough. And it's gone 2 years now. Feels like forever. And we're going to do everything we can. Everyone that will be here next season to win the league. That's how it is. The schedule is tough. There's no excuses, but it's not easy to come to Bournemouth away after playing at Wembley, the FA Cup final. I felt that we could still push a little bit more in the league, but again, it's over now, so it's easy to say now. And yeah, in the end, we win 2 trophies, which is important, but in the end, we want the Premier as well.
Premier.
La Famille. Love it. I will say this. and it didn't hit me till now, the travel from Bournemouth to City, from London to City to Bournemouth is so stupid. Because if this was America, like think about what NFL teams do. People will leave the West Coast and stay on the East Coast for a week if they know they got to like go to London or something after, right? If you got 2 games on the East Coast, you don't even go back because you're just like, we're going to pay the money, get the hotels, make the travel short and call it a day. Like something has to evolve to where we understand like, hey, if you have a 72-hour window, why are you making 2 trips when you only can make 1? We should have just left London and went straight to Bournemouth, found somewhere to train. It's enough football pitches in England and like get it done. But to actually like waste travel time and not get recovery time and like all that stuff. I don't know. I think like there's something that can be done because again, England's not that big of a country.
Yeah.
Like it's smaller than Texas. So they should figure something out because he's right. Like there are no excuses. And it's still tough because they're all humans and they are not robots as much as we want them to be. And a lot of those players played 2 matches in both of those matches, and you could see it. And Bournemouth was super fresh.
Yeah. Oh no, they were zipping around and like truly shout out to Bournemouth. Krupi with an amazing goal. Like he has had a fantastic season. It seems like he will be one of the many players who will be leaving Bournemouth for big money. It will be very interesting to see what that club does with a new manager and even more players leaving. Yeah, but they'll have money. They'll have the Champions League money. Okay. Final match of the season. Aston Villa. Doesn't matter. How do we feel? Do we win? Do we care? What do we take from it? Yeah,
I think I don't know that the players care either. I think what they're going to be more concerned about is don't get hurt before the World Cup.
Yep.
If there were something to play for, that's one thing. At the end of the day, there's nothing left to play for. So, it would be devastating for a player to get hurt in that match. Put them academy kids in there, put them young boys in there, let them run loose. And anybody that's not going to the World Cup, let them play. It just get through the game. It don't really matter. Now, it does matter for Villa, and I think it impacts Bournemouth actually, if I remember correctly. Looking at what that Champions League spot looks like, so I think from a competitive, what do they call it?
Well, now that Villa won the Europa League, they're in the Champions League either way. I guess.
But what does that mean for Bournemouth, though?
So looking at the table, Bournemouth is 6th. They're 6 points behind Villa. They can't go above Liverpool unless they win by 7. Because they have a 6-point goal difference and they're down 3 points. So Liverpool have to lose and they win 7-0. So they're not going to get 5th.
So maybe it counts them out anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what happens, it's the thing where if Villa loses to us and Liverpool wins, that's how you get the 6th spot in Europe. I mean, the 6th spot in Champions League. So Bournemouth is our fan now. They beat us, but they need us to win to go to Champions League. And they need Liverpool to win as well. So there's a lot that has happened, but fuck the Cherries.
I'll say from a competitive integrity standpoint, we should be playing for real, but I don't think we should play for real. I think I got to put a team out there, so I do, but I'm not risking it.
Rico Lewis, come on down.
Rico, all them cats that's not really been playing.
I don't
People
think he's
saying they want
to
to see Ryan McAdoo.
Oh, he's definitely
McAdoo
not
out
doing
there.
it. He's for sure.
No,
not
he's
doing
of
it.
course
Yeah.
not going to do it.
Yeah, I think now realistically, could he fully rotate and I'll be happy with it like we did, FA Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League? Yeah, like put the whole bench on. Everybody that didn't start against Bournemouth, you start now, and then you bring on Aït-Nouri. If somebody's if Rodri, please give Rodri a rest, like take him out of the squad. But you're gonna have Bernardo in the squad. You're gonna have John Stones. It's their last matches.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
it
just
probably
like
doesn't matter who plays. At the end of the day, they're going to protect themselves. You're not going to see people going strong into tackles, and
we're not pressing hard. We're not
Yeah.
gonna run up and down the pitch.
just
like,
because you put them on a pitch don't mean that it's going to be the same.
the Semenyo start is almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
because he's not going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
And he might be the only player, him and Trafford, I think they're the only players we have that aren't going to the World Cup.
Is Trafford not going?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not going to start, but he might be. I think he's
He
picked,
might be
probably.
like third keeper.
Yeah, third keeper or something, second. But yeah, like every outfield player, aside from Semenyo, is going to the World Cup. Or is Stones on the list? Did he make it?
I think he was I think he's probably on that 55-man roster.
Him and Foden on the 55, so it could go either way.
I don't know if it gets
I think they both should make it, but, I'm not Thomas Tuchel. But yeah, we got a lot of internationals. So you play at half tempo, you make all 5 subs. So you switch out 5 out of the 10 people. I hope John Stones comes on for the last 45. Or if we start him right, you can give him the goodbye. So you have the ceremonial start, him and Diaz starting.
Wow.
Little Vardy, Stones, Diaz, Nunez. Like, I'm here for it. That'll be a nice little back line. Yeah, but then now cue the end of the road. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Cue all the boys to men.
Man, this is gonna be.
I had the video queued up on YouTube. I was gonna play it, and I was like, I just hit 500 now. Why? I said, I done changed up. I done start thinking about this stuff. I would have just play it. It don't matter. They gonna knock the video down, but it don't matter. It was fine in real time. But I didn't. Then I was like, I just do karaoke, sing it. No, I don't do karaoke.
So. I believe you can just cut it out, like just delete it, and then your stream counts again.
I don't know.
Sometimes they ask me that, sometimes they don't. It's weird. Oh, goodness. Sad. Lots of goodbyes. Next week, our season finale. Yeah, lots of conversations will be had. Baby Blue Baddies are Manchester City women's segment. Hey, they were already the champions. Did you realize that you were a champion in their eyes? So, this match is what it is, and media showed that. The pre-match interview was 3 minutes long, and I'm adding on. It was like 2 minutes and 42 seconds. It was sad. It was wild because, like, for months, I've talked about it. They're always anywhere between like 10 to 20 minutes long. Like, where are the introspective questions? Like, does he have a favorite moment from the season? What has he learned in his first year at the club? Is there a song that the players have played in the locker room that you like now? Like, what emotions are you feeling 24 hours from knowing that you're about to lift the WSL trophy? Like, there are so many questions that I feel like they could have asked him, and no one asked anything. It was wild. I don't know. It was weird. Like, were they told right before nobody asking questions? I don't know. It was weird. The whole vibe was weird. Like, this is really all I got. And it was Jeggy on if they want to win because the league was already locked down.
Yes, of course. I think all games that we play is always going to be important, and we want to win those games. So, and it's also coming up a cup final in a couple of weeks. So we need to use this game as a preparation, but at the same time also making sure that we finish off, like you're saying, on a high. So there is no doubt about it that we want to win in this last game.
Yeah. All right, starting 11. Cuming, Benet, Rose, Greenwood, Wahhabi, Blinkilde, Hasegawa, Fowler, Fujino, Hemp, and Shaw. Miedema had returned from her time away with her family, but wasn't like match fit to play. Sim Coffee got a minor surgery done, so she is out for the rest of the season. But it was really good to see Cummins. She has been really great in all of her appearances this season. Benet getting the start. good for Kasparai, who played most of the games this season. Like, I don't know when she rested either. Like, very similar to Yui. Just absolutely amazing. Great player. Deserved the rest. Yeah, Blinky, getting to see her again. The lineup was what the lineup was. Was there anything that I guess shocked or surprised you with the lineup, Sharpie?
The shock was human, but I was happy to see it, right? Like, it made sense. That's kind of like really, I think it's kind of juggy to see. When we did the live stream or the watch along, sorry, I brought up the Scott Carson thing. The Scott Carson start was May 15th, 2021 against Newcastle, and Pep kind of threw him the same thing. The league was wrapped up. And so, hey, you doing all this work for us. You don't get any of the glory. I'm going to give you a start. We won that game too, 4-3. So it was cool to like see that. But yeah, everything else in the lineup, it kind of picked itself. I guess I was not surprised that Carolyn didn't start, but I definitely like was like, okay, Fowler, you deserve. Like Fowler, same thing, right? You've been hurt, you made yourself back. So yeah, so there's no wrong way to do it when you've already gotten the title. Like you just have 11 people on the pitch. And I just wanted to see Bunny score. That's all I cared about.
And seeing Bunny score, we did. It took a bit. Rose started the match off with a set piece goal. The ball fell right in front of her, and she smashed it in. Like, great.
That's her left foot, right?
Yep, with her left foot across goal. Like, she was like, this is going in. Yeah, it was a very good start to the match. Didn't get another goal until the 57th minute. Thanks to Fujino. Like, truly, that was like goals I score on FC 26. Like, just the ball beat two players, like the defender that was on Fujino, and then the defender that was on Bunny. The ball passed both of them to Bunny, tap in. Absolutely amazing. West Ham got their goal, made it 2-1, turned it into a game. Very good goal, honestly. West Ham started the second half very well. Shaw then great placement with her goal, receives it, standing in front of the City supporters with the goal and the celebration. Didn't really react much. You know, she stood there, she did like the prayer hands and stuff like that. And then goal 4, Coombs receives the ball, says screw it, takes a shot. Very lucky deflection, goes into the upper part of the goal. I really feel bad because Shizmik, West Ham's keeper, was having a really good performance.
Phenomenal.
Before
So good, bro.
before those 3 goals kind of like ruined things. But she had some really good saves. There was a double save in there. Like, an absolutely amazing performance. I know it is tough to take any positive of this, but they're not getting relegated, so that's nice. And you don't want to lose, but there were some nice parts of this performance in this. So Leicester City, they are relegated. Sorry to them. The season is over for City. We'll do just like next week all together, kind of like the end of the season conversations about players and things like that. But yeah, the match is what the match was. What I very much enjoyed was the post-match celebrations, the conversations, all of the videos, the people who went to the like event, everyone chanting, "We want Bunny to stay. We want Bunny to stay." Like her Bunny looking down at the ground, doing the whole like playing with the ground with your foot and just looking down in embarrassment.
Was that Carolyn that was holding her hand and they were kind of jumping around together? She kind of made her kind of jump around.
Yeah. Like, they're trying.
I think Charlie, I think it was Charlie that posted, I don't know, but talked about putting pressure on the front office or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think they're definitely doing that to the best of their ability. everybody from fans to players to
Club legends.
everybody, everybody, and then even like media folks, everybody is like, what is going on? This doesn't make a lot of sense. And quite honestly, if I'm gonna be 100% with you, it actually fed into or bled into what was going on with the men. So when the men, I was already kind of down anyway because of this whole situation. It just doesn't, it feels like there's a better way for this to end potentially. And so then when the men have their thing, this kind of just compounds and builds on it. So I'm glad that everyone sees what we see. I'm also glad to see so many people care all of a sudden. People who didn't care last season or maybe even earlier parts of this season, but whether it be you gentlemen, whoever else, the awareness has raised to a point where everybody is like, yeah, that does seem kind of crazy. Why aren't City giving her the money? What's really going on? It's like it's a conversation outside of just women's football circles. It's a conversation across football in general.
Yeah, culturally,
Yeah, because there is no male parallel in this decade. I think the craziest thing that comes to mind was like when Van Persie went from Arsenal to United, or you had, I think there was some other famous striker that left and went between the big six. But again, it's not like Bunny in this situation taking down the Giants of Chelsea and saying leave on a free buy. Like, no, that makes no sense. And it didn't make sense then. It definitely doesn't make sense now. And I will say that the way those players in Carolina, everybody was celebrating, this is why I was so adamant on that lit stream that, like, I don't care about the pay scale. I don't care about, okay, what does this mean for the rest of the players? The players want Bunny to stay. They know what she's worth. They play with her. They feed her the ball. Like, this is not a secret on why we won a title. We won a title because we have Bunny Shaw. You take Bunny Shaw off, we don't win the WSL. It's a very simple proposition, and every player in the football club knows it. Alex Greenwood has said it. Bunny's like her best friend, one of her best friends in the club. She loves her to death, wants her to stay. Everybody's caping for her. If you have to rewrite, like a rising tide lifts all boats. So if Bunny gets more, the next contracts, the other players get more. That's capitalism. That's progress. The value goes up. The players get more money. It should be that. So I hate when we talk about limiting workers' money in any field. That's stupid to me. It's anti-worker. And these workers, these women deserve to get paid every dollar, every pound they deserve.
And that is the frustrating thing. Because even, like, yeah, you can call it putting pressure on the front office, but also it's kind of putting pressure on Bunny. And it's like, I'm sure she's willing to take less, but like, how much less? Because if like the best person on the squad is only being paid 5,000-6,000 and she wants 20, like that's a big separation there. So like, will she take 15? Like, is 15, like, if she's down to take 15, are you okay with that? Like, I would say you should be. Like, if she's willing to back down on anything, I think City should be willing to take it. And also, it's just a gamble, and it's a bet on your team, the future of the club, where it can be financially, where the league can be financially. If anything, that just means City need to be like, all right, let's make sure we're pushing these events. Let's make sure we're pushing this club. Like, if anything, it just holds Man City's women's side more accountable to do more, which is what they should do. It's what they should do. We're not saying this from from a negative spot. Again, we're pro worker over here. We're pro union. So, like, in the end, signing Bunny is good for everybody. It can be.
And if you want to raise revenue, I don't know, you have 13 home games at the Etihad next year. Maybe play like 5 of them there. Like, figure it out. Like, you can make money now. You're coming off a title. The merch is going to move. Those champion jerseys are going to sell like hotcakes. We haven't had a winner in 10 years. So you got there are girls, most girls who support that club have never seen their team win. Manchester is blue. Like, we know this. Everything is going your direction. Start to push it. We say it has to start somewhere. Half your game should be at the Etihad. Like, if Chelsea can do 100% now, Arsenal's already got 100%. we got to compete with them. It's a money thing now. You need to play games at Etihad. You only get 10,000, 15,000. That's cool because you're building.
Mm-hmm.
But don't give me the excuse like, oh, we want to fill up the 7,000 seater Joy. No, let people go to the big stadium. People want to be in the big one. Like, go. Like, £5 tickets. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, right. Like, truly are buy one get one half off. Like, there are ways to figure these things out. Get them there.
Family
get
of
them used to
four,
it.
$25. Like, whatever.
That's a good one. That's a good one, right?
Fly me over. I'll help you out. I promise.
Hey, and yeah, because the season's over, we'll talk again more about both the City Men and City Women season next week. This was Lauren Hemp interviewed. It was at the bar they went to celebrate the win with in London. Shout out to the team. I don't know if it was the team or Casper. Someone bought the first round for all of the City supporters who were there. Lots of speeches done by people. I love Jeggy when he did his speech. He was like, hey, just wondering, do you want the speech in English or Swedish? And everybody was like, English, what are you doing? And he was like, okay. So, what? He is a sweet human being. It is fantastic. And just like all the videos of like Aoba being the goofiest, sweetest human being in the celebration party, like her and Blinky, I think they were just throwing a bunch of confetti in Fujino's pockets. I don't know.
Kids.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know. The vibes with the squad is so great that I hate that Buddy leaving is like tied to this, because it's one of those things where whenever we talk about this title, it's going to have the joy, but you're going to have that.
Potentially, it could have that.
Yes.
It's definitely been a cloud over it right now. The storm hasn't started.
Yes.
But it is cloudy. It's been cloudy all month.
Yes.
So hopefully we come back in a week. Things are different. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen.
That's right.
I did see her in one picture in the new kit. We didn't get to talk about that tonight. We can save that for next week. Do a whole kit review. But yeah, I was looking for one. I didn't see one early, and then somebody posted one on X, and I was like, okay, at least she was in some photos. Like, it would have been crazy had she not come out in one. So a man can dream, and I want to get that bunny shirt with the badge on it, like, or the gold logo, the gold, however they're gonna do it. Yeah. I don't know what to look like. I know what the PLs look like, but I don't know what the ones in the WSL look like. So I want to see. I want to buy it. Let me know.
And it is available. I saw someone buy some with the WSL badge. Also, the men's the home kit video promo that they made, and Pep's all in it, and I was like, he's not even gonna be here next season, and he's in the promo.
Hey, they gotta move this merch, man. We weren't waiting for that. That's gonna get filmed regardless.
Yeah.
These checks gotta clear.
Yeah. So this is nice. Yeah, we have so much to talk about next week. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun episode. All right, show bros. Always a good time with y'all. We will be back. We got the list stream Thursday night, and we have the City Men watch along Sunday, the last one of the season. Then there's the Women's FA Cup on the 31st, but that's 2 weeks from now, a week and a half from now.
Crazy.
Yeah. We'll miss you. But I'm going to be doing some stuff for the World Cup. Obviously, the show bros are more than welcome to join, but I will not hold them to anything. Everybody has a life. But I'll be having people on, be doing watch-alongs. I have some people coming on who are Paraguayan, Turkey, Australian, so we can learn about the teams and the other groups and things like that. So we will keep you entertained. We will have you content in the summer. Show bros, Sharpie Charlie, let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
At Sharpie Charlie on all socials except True Social. But yeah, hit me up there, and I will be on the lit stream. I will be on the watch along for the men's final. I will be there for the women's FA Cup final where we get this double.
Yes, let's go.
So yeah, let's lock in. And in the NBA playoffs, we're talking all things basketball now.
It's a double-double.
You can find me on social media at Tarek Peterson. It's pretty much the same everywhere. And then you can find me on YouTube using the same name or whatever it's called. I don't know. At Tarek Peterson. And you can just pull the channel up. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're there.
Yes,
But you'll
sir.
see me every Tuesday night. We haven't decided yet. I haven't decided yet what we're going to do for the summer, if I'm take a break or move to like every other week or something like that. I don't know. With the World Cup, there'll be plenty of stuff to talk about. So we'll keep it going. But yeah, every Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
At Shades of Blue NW, anything Shades of Blue, at Shades of Blue NW. If we're on that app, you can find us at Shades of Blue NW. Until next time, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.
I've been fun. Huh? I've been fucking fun.